When you guys get in, let me know if the audio's good and everything's up and running. Let's see what's going on. Whenever you guys get on, just let me know if the audio's good and the network's good. Hey, A1, how's it going? Just let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. It's always important. Everything's working good, just let me know so we can. I think I want to talk about Lisk a little bit. Has anybody been following the crypto Lisk, Lisk? Yeah, man. How many of you remember me talking about Lisk back in the days? I want to know, just to see how much of a follower, I wouldn't say follower, but just how long you've been with me. Oh, yes? I haven't noticed it. I really don't watch too many people on YouTube. So Ivan on Tech has been talking about Lisk. Pivx, man. Pivx was special. Pivx was special. Lisk was special. Those were my two. Those were my two. I know you guys remember that. I'm just really, it's really interesting what's going on with Lisk. One of the things that I do look at, right? And I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with this, but again, I don't know who's out there. This could be, you could be like a novice when it comes to cryptos. But it's very important to see the amount of exchanges, the volume, and Lisk has kind of had that first mover advantage where they got into exchanges where the listing fees weren't so crazy. Nowadays, to get into like a major exchange, they all kind of follow that listing fee kind of thing. So that first mover advantage, and you see all the things that all the exchanges and volumes, that's one of the most important things to look at too, because you need that volume. In a bear market, it's going to drive it down. In a bull market, it's going to drive it up. So that's one of the things to look at. So a lot of these, like for example, look at a Bitcoin. A lot of these hard forks of Bitcoin, you see that. Okay, wait. So I'm a software developer. Lisk is a platform is good, but it isn't really decentralized. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is that look at all these other Bitcoins, right? They're pumping. I mean, really. Let's try to understand what's going on there. Other than Bitcoin Cash, where a lot of people don't understand why I've been so bullish on it. It's already tripled, and I expect I expect it to be at 5,000, 4,000, around there. I mean, I really do. Now, will I hold up to there? I don't know. I don't need to hold to those levels, but it's still I have a lot of leverage. But what I'm trying to say is that look at all the Bitcoin gold, the Bitcoin diamond. Look what happens when Bitcoin pumps. All right, and this is one of the things that I was talking about. I'm not a Bitcoin hater. I like Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin is going to do things. It's going to go to. I expect Bitcoin before the crash. Okay, this is what I expect. Okay, Now, expecting and holding is two different things. Those are two different animals, okay? But I do expect Bitcoin to be at the $100,000 range to the $140,000 range. That's where I expect it to go, all right? And that's where other people that understand and seen the past history, and I know a lot of people try to underplay and underscore the crypto halving, and this time it's going to be different. Uh, no, it's not really. But what I try to explain the difference of what one expects the price to go, and then for one to hold is a whole different story. So, for example, I personally, I'm looking just for all-time highs, right? I'm going to be making really, really good returns on my investments with just all-time highs. So I give myself leverage. There's others who will just, keep on buying and buying and buying, and then they got to hold to those levels. If not, they're not going to make, they'll make good returns, but they're not going to take full advantage of the great returns that crypto is giving them the opportunity, right? So for me, I want to take the less stressful path. I want to go, I don't want to be, Bitcoin gets to 30,000, 32,000, and then it drops down to 20,000, 18,000. Now what do? I got to freak out. Oh my gosh. No, and then it shoots back up. Because you got to understand, people are going to take profits at 24,000. This thing is not just going to go from 10,000 or 9,000 or the bottom, which was 3,000 something, to 100,000 all the way up, just like that. It's not going to happen like that. It's not going to just shoot up. Okay, now it's a bull market. Or we're at 15,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. Are you kidding me? I mean, people are going to be taking profits, and then what happens? It's going to trigger the robots, right? The stop losses, and then it's going to shoot down. I don't want to be part of that headache. I don't want to have to hold to 100,000. You understand? But there's a lot of individuals out there that if they're going to make great returns on investment, they got to hold to those type of levels. That is very stressful to me. So I keep on trying to share with people. Listen, Ethereum, and I'm talking about when I'm talking about great returns on investment, I'm not just talking about the money angle. I'm talking about the less stressful path to bringing great returns on investment. A Bitcoin Cash at $100. If you were holding Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash was $100 and you got in at 3,000 and your Bitcoin went to 10,000, or you got in at 4,000 and you should have, I can't say you should have, but it would be wise to get that and then at least get 50% of that and put it into a Bitcoin Cash when it was at $100. Because listen, first of all, we know that the halving is coming. This is going to be the first time for the Bitcoin Cash. I mean, it's not going to stay at $100. I mean, that to me was a no-brainer for me. It's at least going to double. It's at least going to triple. And I see it in the thousands. So for me, what I'm looking at, for example, take a singularity net, an AGI, right? An AGI. All-time highs is $1.85. I don't even need all-time highs to make great returns on investment. I don't even need half of $1.85 to make great returns on investment. But when you start putting all your capital into one specific thing, and then now you need it to get to a certain level, you cannot dictate to the market. You understand? You got to allow and flow with the market. And what the market gives you, you take. And you got to look at the percentages. You got to do some math and you got to really think about it, so you don't have to freak out when things go down and, oh my God, now I should have, people are like the waves of the sea, right? Oh, it was at 14,000. Yeah, it's going to go straight to 1 million. Now it comes back down to 6,000. Man, you know what? I should have sold a little bit. Next time it gets to 20,000, I'll sell. And oh no, you know what? Now it's back over 10,000. I'm going to hold to 300,000. It's like they're back and forth. You're not stable. You don't have a plan. Now, with that being said, a plan is good, but plans change, especially in the crypto market. You're gonna change. It's gonna change. Your plans are it's great. But the main thing is to get as close to your plan. But if you don't even have a plan and you're like again, it's like a wave in the sea, right? Back and forth, back and forth. When the market goes down, oh, it's time to freak out. I should have sold. I should have took profits. Oh, but you know what? Now it's back at 11,000. Oh, now I'm gonna hold all the way to no, forget about 1 million. I'm gonna hold it to 10 million. It's ridiculous. You understand? Because again, I want to really sow this seed into your spirit so you understand what I'm talking about here. When Bitcoin gets, and I do expect Bitcoin to be north of 20,000, somewhere at least 30, 40, 50. I don't know if it will be this year, but I do expect those numbers. And at the peak, top, I do expect around at least 100,000, 70,000, 100,000, the 100,000 to 140,000. But again, right, expecting that, you got to understand something. It's not going to get there in one shot. And it's going to take corrections. There's going to be price corrections, right? That's what people, and then you're going to have to determine. This is what I'm talking about. When I was trading options, this is one of the good things about having a little maturity in investments, right? Is that you got to now determine, are we in a bear market or are we in a correction? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Are we in a bear market or are we in a correction? I don't want to have to go through all that. You understand? I want to take the less stressful path. Just get me Ethereum, just get to all-time highs for me. I think, see, just a well-educated guess, I think Ethereum gets to all-time highs. That's just my opinion. Being the world's computer and all the developers and decentral finance, I mean, I have leverage. To me, that's the bottom of my expectation. But that's all I really need. Do you understand? So if it gets to 2,000 or 3,000, which I believe it should get there, right? I believe it should get there. Some even have the value at 9,000, which to me is not outlandish. It's not crazy when you understand what Ethereum is doing. So thinking about that, I want to take the less stressful approach. Now, for those of you who you might have missed the last bull market, right? This is your schooling. You're going through school for the next one. And not only that, but for other investments. Let's say you're, again, like options. One of the things that I learned in options is you don't dictate the market. You take what the market gives you. You cannot trade, and again, this is not financial advice, but this is what the way I would go at something. I cannot trade because I need the money for this or for that. So I got to trade robotically. I need to just get in and every month, no, there's got to be a month where, you know what, the elections are coming, some kind of global thing is happening. I'm going to stay out not only for a month, but for 2 months. I'm not going to, I cannot trade like that. You cannot go in, oh, I have to, because if I don't do it like this, then I can't pay for this. And you can't trade like that. Can't do it. It's not, you gotta allow the market and you gotta flow with the market. You can't try to dictate to the market. You know what I mean? So, with cryptos, to me, it's like the same thing. I was speaking to someone recently and I was telling them, listen, I know you want to hit certain numbers so that you can get, you might want to pay something off or whatever it is, but understand that there's going to be price corrections. And then with that, now you have to determine. See, there's too much thinking for me. I want the easy path. Do you understand? I don't want to be, and you're going to hear the human tendency. We all have it. I don't care how long you've been trading. I don't care how much information you have. We all have that human tendency that kicks in and says, you know what do I do now? Should I take some profits? Should I do this? Should I do that? I just want to have goals, and I think my goals are very realistic. Just get me to all-time highs, and then around there, I'll figure it out. I'll see what's going on. And since we're talking about cryptocurrencies, I'll figure out what's going on with the cryptocurrency climate. You can see, what's going on with the regulations, what's going on with, exchanges like a Coinbase or a Binance. What's going on? What are some of the crypto projects? Like the heads, what are they saying? If you remember, in the last bull market, we had a lot of people talking about. We have Vitalik giving a warning. We had Charlie Lee. Charlie Lee, don't even get me started with that guy. But we had a lot of warnings before it started to go down. But before that, if you really remember, okay, and those of you who remember the last bull market, there was a lot of price corrections and people were calling a bear market, and I was getting on them. I go, bear market? This is a price correction. All right, but not too many people can determine what's a price correction and a bear market. Then, after a while, once you get to that point where it's like, okay, I don't even know where to put my money. Everything is just way, way too high. There's got to be a crash coming soon. And it happened, right? Then we hit a bear market. But again, do you want to be stressing yourself out, trying to figure out, am I in a price correction or am I in a bear market? That's what I'm talking about. So a lot of people that are expecting $100,000 Bitcoin and to cash out at $100,000 Bitcoin, first thing it shows is they're a novice, right? They don't understand in a sense. Okay, so let me say this. Let me say it like this. There's a lot of people, right, that have, let's take a billionaire, okay? I'm not gonna name any names, but let's take a billionaire. And they'll mention a $200,000 Bitcoin, or they'll mention a $100,000 Bitcoin, and they'll mention, maybe $1 million Bitcoin, whatever it is. They talk about these things, right? But there's a reason why they're billionaires. They know how to, especially if it comes through investments. They're going to be taking profits, and believe me, those profits on the way to 100,000 are going to drop the market. There's going to be price corrections, and then it's going to affect the whole cryptocurrency market, and you're going to have price corrections all through the cryptocurrency market. So you'll see, again, I'm trying to bring this up so people can understand, and I know some people are getting in to the live stream now, so I'm just saying this. But from here to a $40,000 Bitcoin, a $30,000 Bitcoin, there's going to be price corrections, right? When that happens, what happens? People, there's a lot of people that have stop losses. So that triggers. Then fear kicks in. Bam, bam, bam. So from 35,000, now it comes down to 20,000, 18,000. Oh my gosh, what do I do? More fear, more fear. Then the whales come in, and here we go again. Bam, it goes up. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Instead of playing that game, try to take, this is what I tell myself. I can't tell you guys that, but try to take the less stressful path, right? To me, the second top crypto, Ethereum, was at $120, $150. Anything under two, very, at $120, I got very aggressive. So, you know, I just need all-time highs. And again, for the next cryptocurrency market, I believe we hit a crash sometime in near 2022. So around there, just to give you, you know, what I'm expecting. And then somewhere around mid 2022, late 2022, I start getting back into the cryptocurrency market. Again, understanding what's going on with the cryptocurrency climate, and then rinse and repeat. I think we got one more, at least one more. I'm not talking about the current one that's about to happen. I'm talking about one more in 2024 bull market. So take this as a learning. We're all gonna learn. I'm gonna learn. You're gonna learn. You gotta learn from these mistakes, so the next one, we'll be like, man, you know what? I should have seen Lisk again, and I've been talking about Lisk at 60 cents or 50 cents. Man, that one. How can, you know, especially me? How do you miss that one? How do you miss that one? You know, but so for the next time, and that's good. It's good to be hard on yourself, but not too hard either. But it's good. It makes you better. It makes you better. If I had to guess, VeChain to $1, I wouldn't put it out of the question for this bull market. I wouldn't put it out of the question. Now, but this is what I'm talking about, okay? Exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm glad you asked that question. I like to give myself leverage, right? Again, too, and I have to be honest, VeChain, and I did take some profits in when I say profits, I reallocated some during the times of its peak. But with that being said, when it dropped under a cent, and then it started getting to that range of 0.005 and 4, and especially 2.9 around there, those are the times where I got really, really aggressive. So it gives me leverage, so I don't have to hope for a dollar VeChain. I think I'm making myself clear. But with that being said, I wouldn't put it out of the question that VeChain goes to $1 during this bull market, right? Within the next 2 years. I wouldn't put it out of the question. But again, holding from these levels to $1, you are either, let me say it like this, and I'm not trying to be offensive. Either you're holding a small amount and you're expecting, you know, it's like, okay, it's good returns, but I need to hold more for it to be special returns, right? Or if you are holding a lot and you can hold from these levels to $1, my goodness, I've never met I mean, you are not a human. I mean, at least taking some sort of profits. But with that being said, again, I wouldn't take it out of the question. Now, 20 cents, 30 cents, 15 cents, 10 cents, 40 cents, V-Chain, to me, in my opinion, not financial advice, double digits in the cents is highly probable for me, right? But again, that's just the way I look at it. That's the way I attack it, so that I don't have to wait for a dollar V-Chain. But can a dollar V-Chain happen in this bull market? Why not? I mean, why not? But Shay may hit $1 because of soft lockups. Wow. Okay. That is a hot take. Okay, Matic play in this. I think you're talking about Matic and player, which is an interesting combination. Matic and player in this bull run. So Matic again. Yeah, I made a video on this not too long ago. I expect Matic, especially what they're doing. Man, I actually put out on Twitter today a very, very good interview that Sandeep just did, talking about Ethereum and how Matic and the backing by Binance and Coinbase and the exchanges. To me, Matic is a special play. But again, expecting dollars doesn't mean that one will be holding all the way to the dollar range, right? So, I mean, you're talking not too long ago about a Matic at a cent, 1 penny, you know? And if you have the capital to kind of take advantage of that, and you have a certain amount, and Matic gets to 40 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents, you can make some great returns. And that's what I'm talking about, right? Where you start taking advantage of what the market gives you, and you don't just go all in on a certain crypto. You kind of like, you got to do a lot of math, plan, and say, you know what, once I get to these certain levels, man, it's going to be some pretty special returns on investment. But again, remember, everybody has different levels, different expectations, different necessities, different desires. Everybody has different, again, wants, needs, desires. So it all depends on what your end game is. Tezos, yes. There's but see, for now, you got to understand one thing, and it's, you can call me stubborn, and it's not that Tezos is not doing good or it's not going to succeed, but once it kind of leaves my area of where I want to get it, then I really stay away from it. You understand? Because I'm built that way, where I have to get the best returns on investments. Right? I want the best. Right? I don't want the middle type of returns, or I don't want to have to wait so much. I want the less stressful path. And Tezos is, listen, there's a lot of bullish news on Tezos. There's a lot of bullish things, but I need. And for those of you who remember, when I would talk about, I needed to come back to where I like it. And if it doesn't come back to where I like it, this is getting in, all right? See, this is the part where you can dictate, where you put your money in, right? So you give yourself leverage. Once it's in and it's flowing and it's going up, that's a whole different story. Now you got to let the market, it's like a dance. You got to learn how to, dance with the market. But yeah, I just, if Tezos comes back to a level where I like it, then I'm sitting with cash on the sidelines right now. And I'm looking at certain things. If Lisk comes back down, not saying that it will, but if it does, we might be seeing some Lisk videos coming back again. Certain cryptos. So I see what happens, and then I'm like, all right, you kind of just showed your hand. So I know what happens when Bitcoin starts taking off. You know what, Lisk, you're not dead. You're awake. I mean, you're showing signs of death there. You're going all the way to 60 cents, 50 cents. But I've seen this monster before, right? I remember you guys, if you guys really remember, and I used to call it the monster. I've seen this monster do some special epic things. So, these are things that I'm considering. So I'm now like, since I'm close to the Everglades, right? I'm like an alligator just waiting with my mouth open. If you come back in and you get closer and closer to the canal and closer, and you want to drink water, then I'll come and I'll attack hardcore. But I'm not gonna chase, right? I'm not gonna chase. So that's where with the Tezos, man, yeah, come back. If you come back, I'm attacking. Lisk, if you come back to the levels I like, I'm like that alligator, I'm attacking. So that's just the way I look at things. That's the way I look at things. All right, so we are at Cardano. Man, you do gotta have. That's another one. I gotta give my brother some credit on that one, man. And he's kind of brand new. He's kind of brand new to the whole thing. But he was getting in at 4 cents, I believe so. But I would need it to come back down. Yeah, I mean Cardano's another special one. Cardano's another that, again, you're looking at something that you don't need it to get to the dollars if you can just get a good amount at a good price. And, let's say it gets to 50 cents, from 3 cents to 4 cents or, those levels, something to 50 cents. Those are great returns on investment, no matter how much you put in, right? You could be someone who just put $200. It's still, you got to look at it, the percentages, right? Again, everybody's at a different level, but that one is one of those that I would look at. Ripple, XRP at 20 cents. I know a lot of people say scam, but it's still, I don't know if you guys have been seeing some of the things they're doing with Coinbase and a lot of news. And you got to understand, money's going to be flowing in cycles, right? So Bitcoin, and then the money moves to Ethereum, and then Ethereum moves, and then it goes back to Bitcoin, and then you got Bitcoin Cash taking off, and then so people are taking profits and they're getting into the next one. XRP has a lot of volume, lot of exchanges. So there's certain coins like that are going to be taking off. Cardano is one of those that just looking at returns on investment can be really, really special. But again, I'm just stubborn in that way where I need it to come back to where I like it, because I like having leverage, right? I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate. Right, so a desperate person will do desperate things, and they'll FOMO, and they'll do things out of anxiety, and I need to do this, and I'm not desperate. So just come back to me. I'm patiently waiting. If you don't come back, I got other cryptos that can do the same. And again, I have cash on the sidelines waiting. I'm waiting. If it doesn't come back, it doesn't come back. That's fine. But it's just the way that I'm programmed, I guess. Just from over the years of just doing things like this, where I cannot go after something and chase it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can add as many staking you want for Ethereum. It doesn't have to be 32, but 32 is the minimum. You need to have at least 32, but you can stake whatever. You can stake 100 and sell 100. Like, let's say you have 200, so you can have 100 Ethereum that you're thinking of selling and 100 Ethereum that you want to stake, right? So but yeah, you can stake as much, but the minimum is 32 for Ethereum. Yes. Stacking up on Ethereum is guys, I can't. Man, I remember talking about Bitcoin, 4,000, 3,000. I was telling I made some videos about it, but more on my family that I can really talk to them. And I'm like, guys, you got to get in. You got to get in. And at first they were like, what? Nah, I don't. I really. I'm like, it's highly irresponsible if you don't get it. Now I can talk to my family like that. I can't talk to you like that. You understand? But the same thing when Ethereum was at $120, I started preaching. I go, guys, you cannot, you don't understand what's happening here. This is a great opportunity. Talking about Ethereum at these prices, you got to become very aggressive. There was a lot of, we'll see. Until recently, I've noticed that some of them are listening. But yeah, Ethereum is special. Ethereum is very, very special, especially if you're. Listen, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something here. Blockchain. You know what? I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because I really value my words, so I'm not gonna go there. But just understand, Ethereum is very, very special, very special. So, no, you're not late, man. You're not late. Um, but yeah, it's one of those that I've been talking about. And listen, I see a lot of people too talking about VeChain, and they're like, oh, but the price. And I've said this before, just so that people can understand. They were saying the same thing about XRP in the last bull market. And I was telling them, guys, I don't know if you guys remember this. I'd be like, guys, there's announcements coming, there's this happening. Yeah, but look, Ethereum's pumped, Bitcoin's pumped, this one's pumped, this one. And we're still here. Then bam! And I was like, you see, like, if you just had a little bit more patience, and there was a lot of people that were just selling it off, and then they were trying to catch Bitcoin because they're not patient enough. Again, since I'm close to the Everglades, you gotta be like that alligator. You just gotta be patient. Just patient. It's coming closer to the water. It's coming. Just relax. Wait a minute. And when I like to use the word monster, I don't know why, but when the monster wakes up, it wakes up. And then the move is violent. Okay? So that's all I'm going to say about that. When VeChain wakes up, and I was saying the same thing about XRP, when XRP woke up in the 2017, and it was one of the last ones to move, right? When that thing woke up, everybody was like, oh my God, no. And then they're trying to chase it back in. And I'm seeing the same thing. I'm like, man, it's just, it's just, maybe history doesn't repeat itself, but what was that saying? It sure does rhyme. It's like the same exact thing is playing out with VeChain, where a lot of people are like, you know what? If it doesn't do this, I'm out, I'm settling. And I'm like, all right. But when the monster wakes up, it's not gonna move, you know, in a way where it's gonna go and go and go and go. I've seen it before, and I'm expecting I'm expecting similar things with VeChain. So yeah, I've been hearing a lot of things about Ethereum Classic. Um, I actually saw somebody post something on my YouTube that Ethereum is gonna fail and Ethereum Classic. I don't think Ethereum. No, I mean how do I say this? Um, Let me say it like this. Well, I strongly believe, in my opinion, that Ethereum is going to do not just good, it's going to do really, really well. With that being said, Ethereum Classic doesn't need Ethereum to fail for Ethereum Classic to succeed. Again, talking in reference to returns on investment, right? I think for the most part, if you're not in it for the, you're not a developer, but for most of us who are in this, and first of all, we do like the technology. It's pretty interesting, it's really what we're part of. It's a global shift in a lot of different sectors, and we are a part of it. It's pretty interesting. But with that being said, we're looking more at the returns on investment. Ethereum Classic has name recognition, and I mean, you can see pretty good, if not great returns on investment on Ethereum Classic. It's not something I will go into. Now, if it drops to a certain level, it'll catch my interest. But there's certain other cryptos that I'm looking at, I'm targeting. Here's from a recent video I just did. I think it was my last video about OceanEX. Now, this is a really interesting play with a lot of those coins that are there. Now, these are highly this is like a highly speculative play, more risky type of play, but for those who can do it, it's something to consider. But I mean, we're talking about cryptos. You've seen the ups, you've seen the downs. Now, with that being said, there's some, again, I'm looking at it. I still haven't done anything in that regards because when I go after something, I really want to go after it, and I want to just make sure from the the people that give me some certain people that I do trust, and I like to ask questions and get some good information on what's really going on and what's taking place. But there's certain cryptos that can make people some special returns. Again, this is going back. You got to understand something. I'm looking at this going back to the old bull market, right? The last bull market, and seeing certain cryptos that pumped, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? If I would have just thrown $400 at that thing, are you kidding me?" It was one of those where I was like, this thing is at what price? So does that mean that that's going to happen again in this bull market? Absolutely not. Doesn't mean that that's going to happen again. But again, remember I was talking about learning and seeing things from, learning from the past, and like, okay, I remember when this happened. If this opportunity comes again, I should at least consider it. I should look at it. I should think about it. I should study it. I should research. And I'll never forget, at that time, there was a real crypto OG who told me, listen, you want to make the special money? Look at the ones that people are not even talking about. And I won't forget that. I won't never forget that. So that's one of those that I'm looking at, right? I'm looking for that virgin area to farm, right? When you deal with real estate, they talk about certain areas that are like just it hasn't been touched, right? So, you know, everybody knows now, and Cardano, and you know, things like that. Yes, that people are not talking about that can bring special returns on investment. Guys, I gotta go. I gotta get that call. I hope this was a blessing. All right, guys. Till next time. Stay blessed. Be blessed.